This is part 3 of racism and cyberbullying and Alphabet Squad community as well. All right, so when I left off, I was saying about how you can't build a relationship on a lie, and if I offend people with these videos, again, I've apologized at the beginning of each and every video, so that's gonna be a trend. Please, excuse me, please forgive me for apologizing, but I'm not really down with offending people if I can help it. And the thing with that is, when I left off, I talked about the murder of transgender women in San Francisco, in Texas, in New York, in Puerto Rico. These things happen because they have engaged in a relationship with a homophobic straight man who you have no idea. Okay, let me play devil's advocate real fast. All right, as a straight man, most of us straight men, when we have locker room talk, we don't really talk about a lot of things that we fear. But when we talk to our friends and stuff, we do tell them things like, I don't fear a lot, dude. I'll go out in the woods, I'll fight Bigfoot, I'll go out in the woods, I'll take on an army by myself. But the only thing that I truly fear more than life itself is that I'm going to have a girlfriend with a penis bigger than mine. That's very homophobic, and most of us feel that way. Even if you're not homophobic, there's probably been one point in time in your life where you said, I don't want to date a chick with a dick bigger than mine. I don't want to date a chick with a dick, period. But at the same time, most people aren't going to say that to your face if you're transgender. They're not going to say that because they don't want to offend people. But then you have to deal with their friends. When their friends find out that they're dating a chick that used to be a dude, whether you had the surgery or not, their friends are going to hound them and hound them and hound them and hound them, and then they're going to do something stupid. Alright? This is how the 2 murders in Puerto Rico happened. Because these young men were exceptionally homophobic, and they were nowhere near gay, but people kept making them feel inferior and kept making them feel gay. Or somehow or another, this was just one of the things that was going to go on, and people were going to find out that they slept with a chick that used to be a dude, and they decided that they were going to kill these transgender people. This is probably what caused the murder in New York, the murder in San Francisco, the murder in Texas. And the reason why this happens is because you cannot build a relationship on a lie. And you see, I may have upset you in the other 2 videos when I said that I strongly believe that the Alphabet Squad should really just stay amongst the Alphabet Squad. And again, I don't have a problem with bisexual women or lesbians. I know that they're not really going to mess with me. Sadly, some of the most beautiful women in the world are lesbians. And I can't make them straight. I just have to live in the fantasy and wish that I was a lesbian too. But at the same time, there are plenty of other beautiful women who are not transgender who might or might not give me the time of day. The fact of the matter is that no matter who you are, gay, straight, transgender, whatever the hell you are, wherever you are, you cannot build a relationship on a lie. And again, you could be the sexiest transgender woman in the world, but you do not have the right to lie to someone, win their heart, and you fall in love with people for who they are on the inside. But you first and foremost, let's not lie to each other here. We're all generally fall in love with people by what we are attracted to on the outside as well. And anybody who says that they fell in love with you from knowing you first before they saw you, nah, it's not likely. Okay, maybe in some of these reality TV shows where you get to talking to somebody, such and such, they have TV shows about that, and I'm pretty sure that stuff will work, alright? And I got duped, because, again, my weakness is Asian women. I got catfished by a chick from the Philippines, and she took me for my inheritance. What I didn't lend out to people, I thought I was getting me a mail order Filipino bride, and what I got was a broke wallet. It's my own fault. I own that. But I've learned my damn lesson. But again, you cannot build a relationship on a lie. You can't. And things like that tend to cause problems. And like I said, when you stumble into, if you're transgender and you're dating a person who is supposedly normal, and they're a straight man and they're dating a transgender woman and they don't know it until it's time for y'all to get ready to have sex, it's going to be a problem when they roll you over and you have the same thing that they have. And even if you had the operation, you still lie to them from the damn jump. And you cannot build a relationship on a lie. This is how people get killed. This is how people get their hearts broke. This is how things like this happen, you know. And again, I'm not saying it's a crime. I'm not saying it should be a crime. But what I am saying is that, you know, this is a risk that you are taking by doing that. And the problem with that is that you, being the transgender woman, you don't know how that person's going to act. You don't. In a heat of the moment, they could snap your neck. We have a case going on here that's been going on for about 7 years, maybe more, of a young transgender female, that is of color. It's a black female. Um, she was missing before Jesse, whatever the hell his name is, killed the second victim. All right. So, in between the first victim and the second victim, the transgender person named, I think it's something. I forgot the name of the kid, but she's been missing in action for quite some while, and we're probably never gonna find her. But everybody now they can't find the last person that she was in contact with either. So either he killed her and got on the run, or he knows where the person is, and maybe they're just like tied up or hiding somewhere. But you know, like 2 years, how long can you live 2 years tied up? You know, I mean, it's a slim possibility that this person is deceased. But again, my whole point is, you know, no one really looks out for transgender females, especially females of color, which goes back to when I said the murders in New York, the murders in Texas, the murders in freaking San Francisco, in the Philippines, Puerto Rico, and anywhere else, you know, the transgender person that has been killed since 2010. The numbers are there, people. And the reason these things happen is because they met a homophobic straight man who found out that the person they're dating wasn't what they said they were. And this is what gets transgender people killed, which is why when I said at the beginning of the other two videos, as prejudiced or as racist as it may sound, I really think that the transgender community and most of the Alphabet Squad should just date amongst themselves. And the reason why I brought all this up was because I got cyberbullied today by some asshole from Scotland who threatened to beat my ass. You know, because of everything I said in the first video, and the second video, and in this video as I continue to go on. And I mean, you know, I'm not saying that you can't date out of your community. I'm saying that it's not the best idea that you are having unless you are going to be straightforward, but then you also have to accept the consequences of, you know, we can be friends. It can't go any further than this because I'm not really into the transgender thing. Now, there are some people who are exceptionally open-minded and that are into the transgender thing. And that's cool. But, you know, site-to-site connections generally work. But at that same time, and I'll be the first to admit it, I've seen some very beautiful transgender women, you know, but off of looks, I can't tell. I can't tell. But at the same time, I'm an honest person. I don't go around lying about who I am. I don't go around lying about my ethnicity. I tell everybody that I am mixed. You want to know the drill? I will tell you. Cherokee, black and white. Cherokee on both sides, black on both sides, whites on my mom's side. What else you need to know? I'm 5'3". If you want to know anything about my nether regions, well, I'm not going to lie and tell you it's as big as a horse, because it's not. You know, maybe when it gets erected, it might be, but, you know, I've never measured the damn thing. I'm just happy that I can use it to pee. So, you know, I don't have anything to lie about. I do kung fu. I like to fight. I don't go around looking for trouble, but if trouble comes my way, it might take a little bit of an army to keep me from losing my cool. But once I lose my cool, I won't be held responsible for what happens to your face or the rest of your body. That's just the way I see it. You know, you start a fight with me, I'm damn sure gonna finish it. And it's not going to work out the way you think because I'm only 120 pounds, which means you just thought that you were going to win. And I'm full of surprises because just like dynamite, it comes in small packages too. Now, the thing is, with these transgender murders and stuff, this is why I say that. You have to be honest. If you're going to date out of your community, you still have to be honest because one way or another, the person's going to find out. You can't hide the truth from anybody. I don't give a damn who you are. You can't hide the truth from anybody. If they happen to be invited to your house, one of your parents might slip. You know what I'm saying? One of your parents you might like, hey, can I see pictures of Bethany when she was a little girl? And your parent might not even it might not even dawn on them. They don't have pictures of Bethany when she was a little girl because Bethany was Bartholomew for the first 18 years of his life. Those things do happen. And if you have informed your partner or your lover or your future husband who's straight about how you lived before you met them, you may wind up alone, or you may wind up alone in an alley somewhere fucking dead. So this is why I said that shit. But the guy on Facebook in the group in which I left, which I will not be going back to on my own accord, he posted the picture. He's a dick. He started calling me Hitler. I hope my other two videos explained that I don't have anything against the transgender community or the Alphabet Squad, whichever you prefer me to call you. What I have a problem is you can't base a relationship on a lie, and this is how the transgender community winds up getting killed. Now, I say it that way because you rarely hear about lesbians getting killed, and you rarely hear about homosexual men getting killed. Now, let me break that down for you. If a lesbian is killed, it's more than likely she's killed by a lesbian or a man who was obsessed with her and she just refused to have him, no matter how many times she said no and kept telling him that she's not into men and she only dates women and she wasn't going to do with them. Well, this asshole probably snapped and then he snapped her fucking neck. Because that's really the only way lesbians really get killed. They're either killed by a man who's obsessed with them or a friend or somebody that they used to date that was also a lesbian and they broke up for unreasonable reasons. But you rarely ever really hear about lesbians being killed. Now, when it comes to gay men get killed a lot too, and they generally get killed by other gay men, or they get killed by a bunch of normal men who don't like gay guys and decide to beat them to death. This has happened. There have been stories. There have been real live movies. There have been arrests. This is why gay bashing has become a crime. So if you guys do your research, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But you rarely hear about lesbians being killed. You hear more about gay men being killed and transgender women being killed versus transgender men being killed or lesbians being killed. And so, the next video will be dedicated mostly to cyberbullying. But for this, I'm trying to break everything down for y'all so y'all understand where I'm coming from and why I'm making these videos and why I'm hoping that YouTube lets them play, because it's very important that you understand how these things happen. And when it comes to it, the genders and the race of the transgender women that have been killed, the number of colored women being black or Asian or Puerto Rican has been up here versus transgender women who are not of color. In other words, if they're white, they're not as high as a death murder rate versus the transgender women who are black, Asian, etc., etc. And those ones are the ones that I'm highlighting because those are the ones that are mostly killed the most. And they're mostly killed by people who look just like them. They're not generally killed by people who don't look like them, which is another thing people have to understand. When you are a victim of a crime, you are at a higher chance of me being killed by a black man versus me being killed by a white man or me being killed by an Asian man are slim versus me being killed by a black dude. That's the highest possibility of my ass leaving this earth, is that some black dude had a raw hair up his ass because either I beat his ass or I took his girl, and he would kill me that way. Now here, on a real tip, if a girlfriend that you're dating has a boyfriend, I ain't touching that. I'm not getting involved with that. Now, if they've broken up and they've been broken up for a few years, I can deal with that. But if he comes after me, he's got 120 pounds of problem. Because what his problem with her is him and her problem. Is not him and my problem. But if he makes it my problem, he's going home by way of the big flashing lights in a white and red striped van. Alright? Because I'm not going to take an ass whooping for a girl that you used to date that I'm dating. If you're dumb enough to fight me over a girl who has nothing else to do with you anymore, your broken arm, legs, and neck is kind of your own damn fault. But I'm also going to make sure that you can't come back and shoot me because I'm going to put you in a wheelchair. That way I know you can't come back and get me. So this is how I roll. I know how to cripple people. So, I mean, I didn't take all this kung fu crap for nothing. So, you know, you have to deal with life in its glory and its bad stuff. And, you know, I'm a small guy. I can't play with you if I'm fighting. If we're fighting, I got to end you, and I got to make sure that I end you for good. And by end you, I don't mean take your life. But I do plan on ending your career. As in, you think you're going to get a second shot at me, but no. I'm going to make sure that you don't, because I'm going to make sure that I break your spine in places that can't heal. Alright? Yes, that can be done. Many martial artists know about this. So, just putting that out there. You know, I'm not a slouch, and I might be crippled, but I'm not going to be the only cripple by the time the fight's over. That being said, you know, I want to make a few things totally clear. You know, when you are of color and you are transgender, you are probably in the most danger that you will ever be in your lifetime, just due to the fact that you are of color. The fact that you are transgender adds to the pot. And if you're not being honest with the person that you are dating, you really are putting your life in danger. I'm not saying that because I'm being a douchebag full of dick tips. I'm saying that because the fact of the matter is, for the last 6 to 8 months, these murders have been happening to transgender females of color. You can go find it, you can go look for it, but there's been at least 6 in Puerto Rico, 3 in New York, 1 in Texas, 2 or 3 in San Francisco. I can't completely clarify the Texas to San Francisco, and I can't clarify Canada. But the 6 in Puerto Rico was over a span of 2 to 4 years, so I know that they're real. But you know, like I said, when it comes to the top buzz, you're touching stuff that I take as a grain of salt until it hits the real media. But a lot of the real media does not cover transgender stuff. Just like the real media, it took forever for them to cover Standing Rock. You know, if it wasn't for celebrities getting involved, no one would have known or gave a damn about Standing Rock Sioux Indians. I understand that. So the next video will probably be the last video, and that's going to cover cyberbullying and the results. All right, thank you guys for watching. This Comfort Habit number 2. BC and you.